Hi everyone, this is Michelle with Feed Your Skull, and today we're going to make beet cheesecake with a walnut date crust. And to start out, I've got a cup of cashews soaking in water, and that will be the beet cheese part. So you want to start by doing that first, and then you can let it sit aside while you make the crust. And for the crust, I've got a half a cup of walnuts and a half a cup of pitted dates. And to pit the dates, you just split them apart, pull out the pit, and I kind of have them packed, heaping a little bit. And so right now we're going to blend the walnuts till they're in fine pieces, and then I'll add some salt and cinnamon and the dates, and we'll blend it again until it sticks together and into a nice consistency. Real quick, the dates I'm using are Sun Date. I got these at Costco and they're a really good deal. I think for 32 ounces this was $8.99, which is $1 more than you'd get for just a pound. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so here's what just the ground nut looks like. I hope you can see that pretty good, but it's not quite fine powder, but it's pretty small, and it's not been overground enough that the oils are coming out of the nut. So it's just perfect right here. And like I said, a dash of salt and a dash of cinnamon is what we're going to add next. And it's about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and the cinnamon I just eye it. Okay, and now we're going to add the dates. We'll do them one at a time because they're kind of sticking together. And I just sprinkle them around the edges of the food processor. You'll notice we have the food processor fitted with the S blade. It's the best blade for most of the recipes I do. Okay, so those are all spread out, and I'm just going to mix this until everything sticks together. Okay, so here's after blending the dates, cinnamon, salt, and walnuts, and I'll just pick up a little bit here, and it's loose right here, but if we pinch it together, it forms a nice little bit that stays together. Now, if you've never made anything like this, this you could stop right here and it would be a great snack. You could just form them all into little balls or bars, and it is a really satisfying snack. But it also makes a good crust that doesn't use processed flours or sugars. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but the cheesecakes, it's not going to be a normal big cheesecake. We're going to use little tea-sized saucers, and we're going to use 2 of them. So, mini beet cheesecakes. And I will add these to the tea sauce. Okay, so I've divvied up the walnut date mixture onto the plates, and I'll show you how I press it in. Really easy. You could use a spatula if you wanted, but my hands are clean, so I'm just gonna press it in. You can kind of shape the edges how you want to too. One down, one to go. You can kind of, skew this in your favor if you know which one you're going to get later. You could put a little bit more crust on that one because it's really tasty. Or you could be fair. It's up to you. Okay, so the crusts were done. And that, took well less than 5 minutes, so just so you have an idea. Hello, okay, we just finished the crust, and as you can see, I didn't rinse out the food processor blade or wash it because there's really only a few little crumbs in here of the walnuts, and those aren't going to hurt the cheesecake at all. Everything will get blended up really nice. So after you're done with the crust, just put the cup back on the base. And to that you're going to add the 1 cup of cashews, raw cashews soaked. They were soaked for about an hour. Then I just strained them over a strainer. We're going to add those right to the food processor. And we'll also add, this is 1 lemon juiced with, I added the 2 tablespoons of maple syrup to that. Just going to pour that in. In the recipe online I used agave, but you could really use any natural sweetener of your choice. I also used dates. You could do all dates if you wanted, but I like the, you know, little bit of extra sweetness that comes from a maple or agave. And if you've never used whole lemons, all you have to do to juice them, you could either set like a strainer over your base like this, cut your lemon in half, and then just squeeze it over the strainer. That would be one really good way. Another way, if you have one of these citrus juicers, you just put half a lemon in, squeeze it over, none of the seeds or anything come out into it, just the juice. So we have that, and we have a 1/4 cup of pitted dates. And then our beets, and I had a large beet, so I took out maybe 2 chunks to make the 1/2 cup. You could probably put them all in there, but just in case you're, you know, not sure how a raw beet cheesecake will taste, just go for the 1/2 cup. And so they're peeled, cubed, and just ready to toss in. And this one's just a regular beet. You could use a golden beet or a Chioggia beet. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but those are like a white and red striped beet, really pretty. But this regular old beet just makes a really nice magenta colored cheesecake, so it's kind of fun. And we're also going to add a 1/3 cup of coconut oil, but I'm going to just process this a little bit and then add that in. And also about 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Put the lid on. I wanted to show you as it's running, it's kind of coming down the sides here. This is the point where I'll add the coconut oil. So I'll just open the top here and pour that in. Okay, I just wanted to show you, I turned it off and took off the lid just to scrape it down. And you can see already that everything is blended pretty well, but there's still some fine granule pieces. So we're going to just let it run a little bit more. You really want it smooth as you can get it. So that just might take, you know, 1 to 3 minutes with the food processor, depending. But the color is just freaking gorgeous. So. And I also have about a 1/4 cup of water to add. I didn't see it on the countertop when I had started, so we'll add that in too. Okay, so everything's been processed, and again, like, I don't know if you can tell the color in the video, but it is so bright pink. I mean, it almost looks unnatural, but it's not. All of it comes straight from the beets, and there's no processed sugars. It's organic maple syrup, so it's something to feel good about and something easy and fun to make. So now what we'll do, the next part will be a little bit DIY. I didn't have mini cheesecake molds, so what I did was I took, like, I have a yogurt cup here, 32 ounces from, or no wait, let's see, yeah, 32 ounces from Trader Joe's, and I cut off the top. So cottage cheese container about that size would also be the same. I think it's about 4.5 to 5 inches top. So just cut about 1 inch from the top off. You can use knife, box cutter, scissors. And then what I do is I just place it on the little tea saucer, and it creates a nice mold. So I've got 2 of those now, one from a cottage cheese container and one from this yogurt cup. And we'll pour the cheesecake cheese into there, and it will go in the refrigerator or freezer depending on how much time you have. Okay, so we've got the cheese here, and I'm just going to divvy it up over each of the tea sauce containers. And I did end up turning the DIY mold upside down, so the top of the container is towards the bottom. If you have a blender, like a high-speed blender, you could easily make the cheese in there. It'd probably be even smoother, but I wanted to show it with a food processor, and it really is a really good smoothness, so just depends on what you want to try. I really think the maple syrup added really nice flavor to it. I'm liking it better than the agave that I had originally posted, so something to note. And now I'll just take a small offset spatula and spread these around, creating a flat top. Thanks to my cameraman, you're able to see this while I'm doing it, instead of me coming in after the fact. I'd like to try this around Valentine's Day with like a heart-shaped springform pan, or what's the other name for them? Can't quite think of it, but I think this would be really pretty in a heart shape for Valentine's Day, so we'll have to come back and revisit this maybe. Okay, that's, I think, about as flat as I can get it. So you get the idea as I do this one too. And see, if you put these in the freezer, just like this, maybe a half hour to an hour in the freezer. In the fridge, you could do an hour or until you're ready. It's not going to hurt it to do longer in the fridge, and they'll definitely last a couple of days if they don't get eaten first. So that just depends. Okay, so what I did here was I just used the offset spatula and I kind of slid it in around the edge. It's been in the freezer for maybe an hour, and I just slid it around the edge, and it should come off pretty easily. It's hard though because I'm one-handed, so maybe I can set this down and you guys can get a view of it. Okay, so there we go. Just need a little bit of leverage. So it has a really nice shape, some fun crazy edges on the side, and it's small. It's not this massive cheesecake you have to go through, so all things I like about this. So I hope you guys enjoy. Leave comments below, rate it, tell me what you'd like to see. I'm very new at this, so videos should get better from here on out, and I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.